Life's unity, prosperity, good health, high places, trace and restore the original plan of God for man and the family, the universe. Our mandate, Holy Spirit. Hello, welcome to Family Focus Television. We're reaching you from the Heights of Glory Sanctuary at the Four Cardinal Point, Nightmare, Enugu, Nigeria. Family Focus TV is designed to mend homes, broken families, and redesign the attitude of people in the family, because we had a lot of diversification in our recent time regarding how family used to be like. And we're taking a whole lot of deeper knowledge concerning this very attitude of human characteristics, just like the previous edition that we did. Today, we will be treating on a continuation of what we did last time, and I really want us to really pay a lot of attention because it's all about types of family and their function. Part 2. This part 2 is highly interesting because we have done a lot of research. We found out that there is a strong definition of types of family. We're going to break down all the types of family in this very episode, because when we were treating the previous edition, we were talking about some characters of humanity. We were talking about even when the psychologists and all the astrologers were like giving their own definition of how human being actually generate, or rather came to be, and all that, and the attitude which was playing. And you know, when you want to dabble into marriage and you don't understand all this, that's where some certain problem comes to spring up. Then you start looking at faults and faults and faults. Remember, we're going to treat about divorce, we're going to treat about broken hearted, we're going to treat about single mothers, we're going to treat about so much. We have a lot of package. We haven't gotten there, but we're really going to get there. And you know one thing, types of family and the function, the definition of types of family is exactly what we want to look into on this very episode. And I want a whole lot of attention on this, because it's no longer the father, mother, and children affair, just like the immediate, extended, and nuclear family thing. There are so much that has been, conceived out of some certain things that has to do with, concealed, out of a burning sensation to have a successful home. When you don't have a successful home, it's so haughty, honestly. When you talk about divorce, we talk about all what we just mentioned. I don't want this intro to be so much, but honestly, I will want us to know the definition of types of family, because you will start getting to understand there are people who came from various kind of home. And when you want to dabble into marriage, now you start understanding that, okay, this guy is from this place, or that lady is from this place. Yeah, and on this note, I think I have to really welcome you to Family Focus Television once again. My name is Theophilus O.D. And with me is my lovely companion, my good friend, and my lovely wife, Elizabeth O.D. Keep harmonizing, all right. So let's pitch up a little bit. Let me just ask a little bit. When we were treating the previous edition that has to do with the type of family, and we were like touching the characters, we were touching some certain things that human behavior was like, even the psychologists and the astrologers, the way they came up with human attitude and all that. It's all part of what we're talking about. Now today, we want to look at some recently. Now today, what we are seeing in the family, it's no longer what it used to be. It's no longer like the days of our mothers. It's no longer the days of our fathers. It is now a new era entirely. And this era is going to be something we need to address, because family is all about the church. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's all about God. It's all about love. It's all about the things that we need to know that have to help us have a successful home. Welcome once again. And on this note, I'll say, don't touch your phone to any other channel, but stay glued after this time out. We'll be right back.
Due to much definition and understanding, there are so much introduction of what a family is known to be in our daily life.
Yeah.
On this online program, Family Focus TV, we have visited the foundational aspect of a family, which is titled the Genesis, and had comparison of universal knowledge of a family.
Yeah.
Treating this topic with so much comparison and so much research and understanding, we have been able to gather lots of facts about definition of family and
It's a diversification,
diversification of types of family.
Yeah.
Which is beyond the primary and secondary understanding. Through educational status and foundation of human knowledge and its human nature and behavior. Our topic on Family Focused TV which in this edition titled Definition of Family and its Functions. It's necessary to pay attention because we shall be treating various types of family and with much deeper understanding. Please stay tuned as we welcome you back.
Well, you had that all. You can see a whole lot of diversification, just like what I mentioned during the intro of this very edition. You're welcome back. You see, when I say welcome back, I want you to understand it on beats. You understand? Based on our research recently and before now, we have understood that a lot have been discovered. Yeah, that we have many other types of families and characteristics of its natural dispenser, especially in today's world and ethnic beliefs. Number one, take note of this. Number one, we have a social economic characteristics and its structures. The socio-economic characteristics embedded on educational level and income level, while its structures saddled on multiple highlights as we go on with this topic. Socioeconomic characteristics actually is educational status coupled with income earners, and while the structural aspect of a family consists of couple without dependent children, married and unmarried cohabiting structure, and single parent family home household. Now never married. You see, I'm punching this in. We're going to take it one to the other. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Never married at all structures, and then separated and divorced family structures. They all have structures, and widowhood status. Yeah, two parent family household, not married and never want to marry. That's a structure of a family too. Now, first, second, and third marital structures. We have foster family and adoptive family structure. We also have the estranged family, which unveil the well understood nuclear, extended, and multi-generational household structural formula. Now, although you see the multiple or two or one that we are talking about here, and even non-categorized family is inclusive. Only the wage earners type evaluates an adaptive formula sometimes, and this gives a lot of problem, yes, and it has been categorized with a criteria placed on it, because when we start talking about this, when we start breaking it down, you understand what we're talking about. All right, and there is another pattern designed concerning this very issue through policy making as well, and consensus programs and evaluation, tax and reports. We will be looking at the general life cycle, which stage in no children. You see, there are other people that have no children, early formations, infants, and preschoolers with certain school age children without children. You can imagine that children with children in transition to adulthood, with no dependent children, without elderly dependents who are also dependents of some adults, such as direct children and grandchildren. Also, we'll be looking into what we call sandwich generation of midlife adults with both young and old dependents, and family with a member, the formed home. Yeah, we need to look into that too, because they have their own disabilities. Disability, inability of making up a family is another family. How. It's all part of life cycle, and we are going to look into this, the context in the ethnic, racial, cultural, vast religious and what informal social network of friends, neighbors, relationship, and to community, consisting the rural, urban, and suburban society.
Yes.
Now the big question is still, what is a family? be right back after this time out.
Welcome back.
All right.
So let's go back
Okay.
to what we are
Yeah.
talking about the social economics.
Let's go to number one.
Number one, that is where we are coming.
Yeah. Socio-economic characteristics. We are about to do an analysis based on our research. And this analysis is something that will actually need you to pay attention more, because the way we just swung into hitting it on a roll, you might not understand this topic. But now, number one, socio-economic characteristics and its structures.
What do you understand about that? Can you give us more light on it?
Now, there are two things there. Socio-economic characteristics, according to the research we made, embedded on educational level or status and income level, while its structures saddled on the other multiple highlights, which we're going to. Those highlights are the other part that we're going to break down. But I want us to understand this very, very well. Social-economic characteristics. Now, there's a cohesion of social-economic character, which embedded on educational level and income level. See, does it mean that if somebody is not well educated, you won't even get married or so? I want to start with that question.
Not exactly. You may not be educated and get married.
You may not be highly educated.
You can see couples like that. Even illiterates get married. Marriage is not classified. A good marriage or a successful marriage is not classified just because you're educated.
Okay.
All things, it all depends on the couples who are in that relationship.
Okay.
And what the duties they carry, how they carry on their relationship with transparency, trust, understanding. That is what it means.
No. You see, this thing was broken down here based on the research that we got. Socio-economic characteristics depended on educational level and income level.
Yes. Not some families. When we say when you go to this educational levels, family structure.
Now I want to get married. I want to get married, and I look at you and say, "You are not my class.
Yes.
You're not socially inclined.
Yes. You are not socially. We are not on the same level. Socially.
You see, it brings a lot of problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the elites, they play that character. They like to be in that circle of
the rich, or whether probably those that have
yes, they always like to be
on
that. They want to maintain their social status.
Okay.
They want to maintain it.
Okay.
So you see, they will bend their children to that level. They don't want maybe somebody that is not in the same level.
Maybe not a graduate.
Maybe you are not a graduate. Maybe a family that we have graduates, and you come in with an illiterate, somebody that is
very low class,
person 6, maybe primary school level.
Low class.
So it doesn't match.
Yeah,
it doesn't cohere together. So there will always be lapses.
You know, that actually do bring some inferiority attitude.
Yes, exactly.
You understand?
Maybe if the man is not well educated and the woman is educated,
probably the woman is a lawyer, for instance.
It will not go ahead together because there will be always lapses. And maybe the woman is not comfortable with his husband when on social sense. He's not comfortable with that. Or maybe the family is not comfortable with it. So there will be always lapses. That is why you see some homes, especially the elite, the rich, they like to be within that same circle. They want to maintain it.
Okay.
They want to maintain
the social class.
They don't care whether the feelings of their children or the couples involved. But what they want is maintaining that social status.
Maintaining social status, actually, I don't know how I see this sometimes when I see couples that are fully in love, and actually maybe either the lady involved or the guy involved, not really, they don't have that social inclined attitude, or rather they're not graduates. Basically, sometimes they say, when you bring a man home, the first thing the father or mother or even the family
exactly.
They will ask, what is your... And I think that has got across into our churches today.
Yes, I have seen that. That is some family, when you get into maybe a guy now knows a girl, maybe they have been dating themselves, they've been going out and they tell them, I want to marry you. And they bring that girl home, and introduce to the mother. The mother will first ask, especially the mothers. They will ask, what is your place of origin? Then we say it. I'm from either Imo State or from Ogun State or from Ogun State. One, the tribe.
The tribe.
Secondly,
Who get that?
the secondly, the social level.
The social
Status. Who is your father?
In the society.
What work does he do? What kind of work? What level? Is it a civil servant?
It was a movie. I was watching one.
Is he a businessman? How many of your brothers are in abroad? Are graduates or outside the country? So they will want to know the class. And if it doesn't match with their own, the lady is in problem. That relationship
might have some cracks.
If the two parties are not strong enough to stand on their ground, that relationship will crash.
Somehow, when I look into this, I think it has repeatedly been happening in our society.
Yeah.
You understand?
Especially where the parents plays a heavy role on the child. You don't allow the child to think on his own. You don't allow the child to make decisions on their own. They will feel that child cannot make a good decision. They still look at that child, it's still my boy of yesterday. My little boy of yesterday.
It's myopia. It's an age.
Yes, no, it is myopia, but it's natural. It happens because no parents will see a child as that child is maybe is well enough to take a decision. Most of no parents do not understand that. They will like to control the child. If you give that child, give them the child, they will like to control the marriage, which is a problem.
Parents, I think we need to really talk to you, and based on this socio-economic character that we play on our children. Take note of this.
There's one thing I want to say in this issue. That the parents of yesterday, they like to bring that their nature, the nature.
And the kings must get married to the royal home.
Apart from it, they would like to play the lifestyle of their time on today's world. Maybe the parents they married in the 50s or in the 50s, 30s or 40s, and now at this age they want to tell you during our time, did you know that this and this happened? They don't know that life have taken a new dimension. Where a woman is subjected to be at the home, to be a housewife, full-time housewife. Where you see during our days, when you want to start school, primary school, they will shave your head. You know when they call that fari? They will shave it. They will now put, your mother will put whether Vaseline, whether Ororo, they will put it on the head will be shining. They will now carry slates and give you. But they did it to me, yeah. I was one of the yes, I experienced it. So if your hand, this your hand, does not get to your ear, you are not allowed. I can remember my mother telling me, hey, if you had like
what are the short people?
The first time they disqualified me. I'm up to 6 years. 5, 6. If you are not 6 years, you are not allowed.
I think nothing is really
you will see a child 6, 7 years, you stay at home because you have not passed through that test. And you see, today's world, what I'm saying is that today's world, you can see a 3-month-old child. Even they don't even allow the child to be 3 months again. Maybe 1 month. 1 month. They say taking the child to school.
To take care.
You can take care. They tell them they're kindergarten. Because if you see them, they're going to school. But sometimes I look at them and say, what is this one going to learn? But you see, the life in those days and today are not the same. They are not on the same level. Where women are subjected to be housewives to take care of their children. But today, a woman must do something.
Well. Looking into this this attitude of the social attitude. Now, looking into the economic aspect, I think that's where something that has to do with income earners. You know, so many homes look into what is the status of your family, or probably what you do for a living.
The same thing goes with the family. The one side we ask the family, what is your status?
It's very important actually.
What to do if you are not well educated, at least we learn a trade. So because of the level of the societal level, and the economy, things have really changed.
Things have changed.
A woman must be doing something. Don't depend on the husband.
It wasn't like before.
It wasn't like before.
When the woman
the
depend on the man
to go
till the ground
and work and take care of her,
Mm-hmm.
take care of the children. I know that this is normally here because now this is a woman must do something because you don't know what will happen to tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
So it is very, very
important. It is very important.
I think that is why they ask all those questions to know whether the man is financially capable of taking care of their child, and to know whether the woman will be a hardworking woman that will support the man. So we don't have lapses at the end of the day. I think that is what most of the time, if you check at the first place, it is either financial problem or mostly financial problem. Mostly financial issue. Yes, financial issue.
But don't you think the economy actually do play a role more?
Economy plays a role a lot.
I think that's
and again, and other ones are emotional trauma
from the background.
From the background, maybe from the man. Maybe the man is from a physically abused family. Maybe the mother used to beat the man, and the man inherited it. Everything just give the woman that. Not even taking whether the woman is outside.
I think
so all those things
fathers, mothers, and those that want to get into marriage and all things like that, you have to be careful about
all those things plays
a role because they grow up with that attitude. All right, now looking into this very critically because we're going to go into the structures immediately. We want us to waste much time on these socio-economic characteristics. We should understand that these two interwove.
Yes.
It interwove. The social and economic aspect of life in a relationship plays a whole vital role because obviously nobody wants to actually give away or give out their what do you call it? Their daughter or their daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, even it affects some guys, you know. When they look at probably the lady not actually attain some height in education, and probably she doesn't even have money as well, or probably she's not doing a very good job or something. The next thing you hear, a low-class person, that's what you want to get married to at this age, how will you cope with it, and so on and so forth, unknowing to them that love have a way of bringing out all this whole thing. Yeah, when a strong love is playing on the tool, yeah, it takes a lot of understanding, a lot of trying to know yourself very, very well. I think when we get there, we'll talk more on this.
Let's go to the education at the income level.
The income, it's all about when you look at it, if you cannot economically handle your finances, I think that's exactly where
the income level again goes to the couples that are earners, maybe they're salary earners, or their business earners. They have their businessmen or women, people that have built their capacity financially, maybe from the civil servant to business, or maybe they have built their businessmen or women that have built their business empire that the children take over, inherited. So they are now retired. I think that is where we go on the next level.
Okay,
that is couples without dependent children.
We're going to be there now. We'll talk about that. So now, we now understand that the educational level and income level is all about social economy. Simple as ABC. So it's just all about the social economic characteristics that play a role in a family relationship. Okay, now we'll look into the structure which saddled on multiple highlights. It has a multiple highlights. We go on with this topic, the definition of types of family. We have talked about socio-economic characteristics, the educational status, coupled with income earners, and how it's blend up to make up a very good home. Because even in our churches, your pastor will definitely ask you, what do you do? What's your level of education? And so on and so forth. And before the counseling section takes place, they will surely ask you all those kind of questions. But you know one thing? It's always nice for you to be very sincere, be honest, and all that, because understanding matters a lot. When I'm counseling, I look into the eyeball of the man and the woman to know if these people actually click together. According to the Bible, what God says it click together. Yeah, it wasn't in the past. Yeah, they must
work together.
If they're not in agreement, yes. And all that, no matter the level or the status of that particular relationship is floating. Like sometimes it floats on that. It's like a scale. Yes. It's like a scale. If it's not balanced, the both of you have to do what? Balance it all together. So now we are going to look into the structures. The structures consist: one, couple without dependent children. What do you think about this now?
This, like I said,
it's a type of family. We're defining it now.
This, I said, these are families, couples that have built up their financial status.
Couple without dependent children.
Yes, they have built their financial capacity. They have grown-up children who are wealthy. Maybe they have gone through schools, they have gone through the four corners of the university. They are now adults of their own, well placed in some institutions. Maybe they are working in the civil service. Maybe they are on their own business or private practitioners. So these are couples that are of the age of 60, 55, 60. So they are no longer depending on any. Maybe they have built their capacity, financial capacity. They don't depend on any children. If the children remember them and give them anything, they don't. They just live on with their life. Or they have a trade, maybe business that they are running on their own.
But I want to understand something now. We're looking into this very, very critically. A couple without dependent children. Yes. Now, do you know that today we have children dependent on their parents?
Yes, we have.
Instead of them.
Excuse me. We have children that depend on their parents. Not really that they want to depend on their parents. Maybe for the reason that maybe they are out of life. They are looking for work. There's no work. Maybe they are out of school.
See, when we talk about the social-economic,
they are unemployed, or they have issues. Like maybe one of them come back from, he had a failed relationship, he now comes back to the family, to the mother and the father. They will not send her away. You understand me?
Yeah.
And they will accept her. They will take care of her. Even if some of them come back with their children, they will care for her. That lady will be depending on the mother, the family, maybe the other siblings. So they will know how to go about her case. If they are financially
capacity.
Yes. So we have couples like that, or couples that are also maybe they have dependent children. Maybe their son or daughter is late and the child is with them. They are taking care of that.
You know, I was like imagining when they say somebody's up to 18 years old, you want to fold them up to fend for yourself,
yes,
right? And
that is in civilized
world and Western world. But why is it in Africa mostly the culture and tradition, the ethics of lifestyle have really torn parents, most especially those that like my son is rich or something like that, or my son is doing well, and now the father cannot even walk again or do any other thing, but only depend on the son, on the daughter, on the daughters to fend for them. And you don't know that thing do affect the marriage that probably the person is about to dabble into.
But I think it is basically on tradition. We African, we believe I have taken care of it. I'm taking care of you.
It is not your turn.
And now it's not your turn to. And most of them is maybe they are aged and they are not strong enough to fend for themselves.
Yeah, but in Western world they have.
You cannot use the Western world
to compare
Africa because the Western world, they have institution that is working.
Good.
Right. The Western world have institutions they lay down institutions
that take
care of both young ones and elderly people. The young ones they are strong enough to work. So they have built their standard. They have their society is well organized. So before a child will get out of high school, it's expected to be. Once you just 18 years, you're expected not to live with your parents.
No, of course, yes.
And they finally decide to go and look for a house and start fending for this or herself. So that they have built that standard. But here in Africa, we don't have that standard. That structure is not there.
If that was 40 years, 45 years, 30 years, still living with the parents.
You see people like that, children like that, maybe 20 years, they're still living with their parents, 28 years, especially
40.
The men. If it's a male child, it is not but a female child can be tolerated. Maybe one day to get married. So that is what is the problem we have. One of the problems we have in Africa. We don't have institution that is working, and maybe because of the bad leaders we have. I can say it boldly. The problem of Africa is bad leadership.
The structure that we're having and we're facing most times comes from leadership. And leadership all play a role from the family. before you become a good leader or president or whatsoever leadership that you're into, maybe a pastor or whatsoever, if you don't have a very good home, I believe, or rather a well-structured home, let me just use that language, a well-structured home, it means you have a lot of problem in alongside. We've touched this, and the next one says, that's number 2 says, married and unmarried cohabiting structure.
Yeah, that's another good one. We have couples like that. One is married before, maybe the wife died or something happened on the way, the marriage collapsed. It takes another wife. Maybe the wife, the woman or the man involved, maybe he has never tested marriage. We have couples like that, they cohabit together, they live together.
Now, do you think this thing actually work out very well?
It works out very well. It depends if the couples that are
in that relationship. Someone who has been in marriage, probably something happened actually, or maybe the wife deceased, or rather the husband deceased, and the next thing, probably the person is still young enough to, get himself involved indulge in marriage, and now they get themselves with an unmarried person.
Yes, it's possible.
To cohabit themselves together to make up a family. This is a type of family that rolls out in our society today.
Yes. The two can work together. That's what we are talking about. Working together if you are good.
If you are good.
Yes. They can work together with more understanding. Because now, if the married is a man, maybe the wife is late or they have issue, and this man loves the former wife, the man will be expecting from that unmarried person, someone that are not married before, to play that same role or to act that same way. And if the person is not happy, I'm telling you where the problem comes from. And if the person involved, maybe the woman, maybe the female involved, is not acting, especially the female, is not acting like they expected, or maybe he did something that he doesn't, maybe the wife cannot do. You say, hi, if it's Lucy, it's here. If it is Lucy, my network, I will not act like it. Okay.
So why would that kind of person go start getting wedded or married when you know that you cannot handle it?
Yes, they go into a relationship, but they want a companion.
They want a companion.
It's not easy to be.
It is not easy.
So they want a companion, and as they want something that we match, not fully similar, but close to their late spouse or their ex-spouse. So that is how this kind of the problem that comes out in this kind of relationship or marriage. So that is the type of the problem they will always have. Sometimes if the woman behaves like the mental art. Yes.
So let's look into the positive and negative aspect of it. Yes. The positive aspect is that sometimes you find yourself in a very wonderful relationship, even with an unmarried person, and it's not discouraging, but the only aspect that we are actually looking into is where you have a misunderstanding, especially when you want that person to repent or play the role of your previous relationship or wife or husband. So that is a type of family. Yes. You need to cohabit yourself properly and blend up. Let's go to the next one. This is number 3. Single parent family household. Single parent. When I got into this very recently, I was like asking myself, single parent family household. Single parents.
That is sometimes it happens maybe accidentally.
You don't be a sadist that will want to remain single and maybe have a child or 2.
You can have a broken relationship.
Okay.
And you decide, and you don't see anything sweet in marriage. There's nothing interested in marriage, and then you decide to be single. Or you are in a relationship and the other spouse died, maybe something happened, maybe.
And the person decides to remain single.
That person decides to remain because he cannot find someone that will replace that person.
And you think it's yes. Something that
I have seen people like that. They cannot see somebody that will replace that person in their life. They decide
to be single.
And maybe they have one child or the other.
So do you know I have seen somebody who never really wanted to get involved in marriage and all that. Based on probably the kind of lifestyle that parents have portrayed in the past. Probably they came out. Remember when we were treating the characters.
Where you have such people, there's so many broken homes.
They'll now stick to it. I don't want to get married and I don't want to get
married. Some are abused, maybe rape, sexually abused. Maybe yes, maybe sexually abused. The lady will
And they
decide
decide
not to get anything relationship will never work.
Mm.
So something like that. So they have this emotional trauma
From that place.
So that's what people are the people you can see on that level. The other one is
single parents, family, household is something that we really need to. We talked about 3 things there. Somebody can be actually single based on maybe you lost your loved one, and it can happen based on the one that hurt me most is based on family upbringing and character that was portrayed by probably parents, which we need to talk to parents to always play the best role so that that child will not grow up to dislike or dispute marriage. Marriage is a very wonderful, sweet thing, okay? Don't get it twisted. Now, number 4, right? Never married at all structure. Never married at all.
Yes. Never married.
And that person is building a home, a family.
We have people like that who doesn't think about marriage. Yes, I've seen it.
And do you have an example to roll out?
I've seen it. I think we've seen one where we live.
Oh.
And just where about, doesn't want to get married. He prefer maybe to be dating one woman, the other doesn't want to date another kind. Doesn't want to.
Does that show? Does that give out any responsible attitude?
It doesn't. Man, you see, you cannot force a horse to swim. You can only take a horse. You cannot force him to take a horse. You cannot force him. So you cannot force such person.
When I saw that this is a family structure, it baffles me.
Yes, there are people like that. There are people never married at all. And so again, some religion accept it.
Okay, some pastors, some
accept it.
Especially the Orthodox.
Yes, Orthodox, they accept it. So it's
accepted. Even St. Paul said
something like that. If you can be like me, not married, it is allowed.
It's allowed.
But why he say you should get married? Because of temptation. Not everybody can be like St. Paul. So that is it.
Even Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, our Lord, who portray a single family lifestyle, and he won the race. He finished the race very well. St. Paul did the same and all that. And we're not really discouraging people. If you actually have made up your mind, never going to marry structure, or stay glued to God and get married to Jesus. I think that's the best advice I can give out now. Now,
the next one.
This one is number 5, right? We're talking about separated and divorced family structure. This is a big question mark. A big question mark.
Yes, actually,
that is really destroying the world today.
Yes. It's all about
the hearts.
Relationship not coming. As you have talked, maybe you thought that this would be a wonderful relationship. It happens that one thing or the other happen, and the both of you are in your separate ways. So that families like that, they have children in that relationship, and they decide to break up. And the children
the suffering.
You
see, it hurts me so badly that it has become a rampant issue.
It has become a rampant issue because couples don't take time to study themselves very well before they go into marriage.
I think shortcomings play a lot of role in this whole thing. When you don't take time to get somebody's shortcoming, because you need to absorb. That's why the cohesion comes around. When you want to cohere or try to blend up with somebody with a low class. We spoke about a low class person and a social high person, probably educational person, somebody who has educational background and all that. You see, I think that's where this looking at separation, looking at divorce. I think that's.
I don't think it's a low crisis issue.
Why the crisis?
It's not a low crisis.
Why the crisis?
All this depends on both parties.
Both parties.
Yes. Sometimes it may be from woman, sometimes it may be from woman. Where you don't treat your spouse with respect.
But the first love.
Where you turn your spouse to be a punching bag.
Do you know?
Where you let me come.
Go ahead.
Where you don't pamper, that's really we like petting. You don't pet the lady, you just treat her like a trash, a piece of trash.
They must be educated.
Not educated. There's some people that are educated, they don't know how to pet a woman. This is true. They are educated, but they don't know how to pet a woman.
And when they dabble into marriage.
And when they dabble into marriage, it all ends up like that. Or when that child is from a separated family, divorced from, maybe the family that have gone, that to the child upbringing, he or she have gone through molestation of home, violation of home. All this affects the child when grown up. So we use that same method that he has seen on that plays on his or her father's the mother father relationship, the parents, and if you use that same way, the same hand to go on, the same thing to go on, the same method to go on, thinking that it's the best way to live a life.
So we are not really encouraging separation, we're not encouraging divorce. It has become a norm in our society. It's something that we really need to be very, very cautious about. So when you're trying to say I do to that very marriage, please, I beg you, always find time to get your spouse well understood, get the shortcomings understood, know the parental upbringing, and flow with it. I think when you flow with it, it works. It works. I think it works that way.
Yes,
So understanding those caliber of people, maybe you're a low class person, or probably you don't have money, and you're feeling inferiority complex in a particular home because probably the parents are really pushing some caliber of people to do what they're not supposed to do. It is wrong. Actually, it is very, very wrong, because when a child gets involved, or some children get involved, these children, how do you think their future will look like? How do you think the society will look like with a thing of that nature in their mindset? It's wrong. So we have to we'll still revisit this. It's a topic of its own.
Yes.
When we get there, we're going to stream life, because I'll need us to really interact properly when we need to stream life, because there are a lot of separated homes and divorced family today in our world, so we need to be very careful.
Let's go on the next one.
The number 6, right? Am I correct? The widowhood status. Widowhood status is a very common one.
Couples, maybe the woman died or the man died, they find themselves in that level, and that level. So it is a tragic one that no one can hold it. So
no one can hold it.
Yes.
Now, when it happens, it's more like when we were talking about.
And you decide to live on that.
It's like when we're talking about single parents. I think it has
similarity
to that. So now, widowhood status. They probably have 6 children, 5 children, or cohorts, and all that. I wonder. I know so many. I don't want to say I'm worried, because so many love their spouse so much that they cannot even get themselves involved in another relationship. They rather become widows or widowers. But all the same, it is our final. It's a family affair, and somebody decide to take upon himself or herself. So
the next one.
Let's look at number 7. 2-parent family household.
That's another one.
What do you like?
It's not. We cannot see. It's not rampant. But we have some family status. Family status. Household. So we have some family household. Maybe.
How do you define this?
Let me define it.
Yes.
Maybe someone got pregnant. And if she cannot take care of the child, she has good friend and she cannot take care of the child, and she decided to give it up to someone that is an auntie or brother to take care of. The child grow up without the biological parents, mother or father. The child grow up maybe in his uncle's school or in his auntie's school, or even an outsider. And the child grew up knowing the biological mother at last, and also knowing the foster parents. So some child may be on the middle. He takes care. He goes to the biological mother. He equally goes to the foster parents. That is the type of family.
No, but you see, my only to understand it. Let me just break this down so that we understand this. When I was doing this research, actually, I was asking myself, two-parent family household. Now, it seemed to me like you have a family where you grew up, or probably that gave birth to you, and you have another family taking care of you. Probably the child was actually being given out.
Yes.
Was that what you're trying to explain?
Yes. Or the woman, maybe she's a widow and she doesn't have money to take care of them, and she has many children. He gave them out.
Giving them.
Yes. Or somebody to take care of.
Taking care of a child.
And the child grow up in that.
I think where this thing is actually being derived from the research we made is that when a child grows up, it takes responsibility of two parents.
Yes, he takes responsibility of He takes responsibility of two parents. Both parents. So that is where
the ones that raised them and the ones that they parents to them. It happens, everything, and we need to hold on it because it is not always fertile for some certain parents to actually take care of a child when there is no one there. Probably through by mistake, you have a child and you decide to probably leave the child in what do you call it, a motherless home, or a guidance and all the things like that. It is your duty to always make sure you always provide for them as well, no matter how small it is. Show your face, make sure that you play the right role. It is important. Okay, then let's listen to number 8. I'm not married and never want to family structure. This sound like never married at all.
This one not married. Maybe this person has been abused sexually. It goes up to any man doesn't want to have anything to do with any man. I never want to.
It's just only does this actually play only on
like just like the one we treated? He said never married.
Never married, yeah.
People, some religion allows it. Some certain the Orthodox they allow.
Not married. They never want to.
So it's just those two.
But when you mention family, they have children, don't they? Some people don't they adopt children?
Not married can adopt a child.
I don't know.
Can adopt a child.
Can adopt a child.
Yes, and they're not married. Maybe they had issue on relationship. They decide not to marry. I never want to.
Anyway, I know a lot of psychological issues playing there, and also depends on how somebody, just like what I mentioned, depends on how the grooming of that particular family lineage come up with. That's why we really hammered on characters of human behavior. We spoke about it during our previous episode, right? So, all these things, I want us to always take note of them because it is very important that we know what we're doing in marriage. Now, let's look into number 9, which says first, second, and third marital structures. I got married to number 1. Number 1 was not enough. I got married to number 2. Number 2 was not enough. I got married to number 3. What the hell is wrong with me?
Some religions maybe some religions accept it. Some religion they accept to marry up to 4 wives. There's nothing wrong with it. Even in our Old Testament, it's allowed.
It's allowed. Okay.
That is like
can we look into today's world and understand what is going on?
This first, second, third marriage are failed marriages.
Failed marriages.
Let's just look at it on that basis. Failed marriages. He has gotten married to the first one. She has gotten married to the first one.
That's why
it didn't work. He got married to the second one. It didn't work. The third one maybe worked. There are people like that. The third one, because that time. Definitely with a movie, it's a female. She's not old. So anything she sees in that marriage, she go back home. Not me go back home for you. He go take her. No problem. Even the man knows they give her money to chop, he go they bear her. Because why? Why is she telling it? She doesn't want the society to look at that she's the problem.
Listen, of course, so most times in Igbo, I think the Igbo culture adapts so much clicks to that. When you have the first marriage, and sometimes, maybe your first wife will not give you a male child, especially those people that attach so much no children.
I don't think that is so rampant these days.
No.
I don't think that is so rampant.
You must give me a male child, and it's like a must.
It's the woman.
And the next thing, you get a second wife.
And
it's a third one.
Is it the woman's fault? Is it the woman's fault? This is your fault.
I just point
it's what he gave out. Yes.
What he gave out.
Yes. That is what is. That is not. I don't think that is playing. We don't see that much now. You understand me?
So we have about 3 examples in this. It's all about probably you got married and then your spouse, go beyond the other parts of the world and all that, and you have another one. You decide to remarry, and you decide to remarry again. And the other aspect that really got my heart is when you're getting married and piling up problem in your home, because it's a bunch of problems, especially in today's socio-economic characteristics which we spoke about. Yes, it gives a lot of problems.
And you know that this first marriage produced 1 or 2 children, and she moved on. Or he moved on to the second one. Then he produced another one. And he should now the person now move on to the third one.
And when you don't have the financial capacity to take care of all these things,
the financial capacity, if the man,
don't you think
it plays more on men if they don't have the financial capacity. But the woman is not financial capacity. It plays more on the woman. Maybe she's the cause, maybe by character. Or maybe she's not lucky in marriage, but some people are not lucky in marriage. Some people are not lucky.
Yeah.
So they find
husband one, husband two,
husband three. So when they get to that three, maybe that time it's above 40. She may be at, if she's a female, she may be at home 40.
As you say,
40.
let me just stick on this one.
Stick on that. Okay, you call it okay.
Well. First, second, third marital structure is something we have to be very careful about, because truly, I wouldn't lie to you, it's not too rampant in this generation, but it is something we have to be very careful about, so that it doesn't play a tool in our home. Instead, you remain single. I think I would even prefer that. Okay, we'll look into the next
10.
Number 10. Foster family, an adaptive family structure.
Yeah, these are parents who doesn't have children. Maybe they go to an orphanage home, they go to homes, adopt the children, the child, and take care of that child. And there are people like that, or foster parents who take care of other people's maybe relation, they relate to the child, to adopt, take the person and take care of that child.
Yeah, a foster family, an adoptive family is still the same thing. We're still talking about the same thing here, and it's all about probably when a man, a woman, or probably a spouse that love themselves so much, probably they are so unfortunate to probably bear a child. They now seek for solution to get adopt a child and keep a foster home, and they live on happily, and so on and so forth. And I think estranged family, number 11, right? Estranged family, which unveil the well understood nuclear, extended, and multi-generational household structural household formation. It's a formation. We have the nuclear, we have the extended, we have the multi-generational household structure. We all are familiar with this. We've been taught in schools. We've learned so much regarding this very aspect. But the one that really hit my head so much is the multi-generational household.
That's a polygamous one.
Polygamous.
Yeah, that's a polygamous one. We have them. It is widely accepted in Africa. Polygamous one.
And looking into the nuclear and extended home now, don't you think today's world is no longer like before, like when you bring your, especially like extended family coming very close to you due to the socio-economic situation in the country and all that, and you know the burden, you want to run away from all those issues and other things like that. They're all part of you, they're all part of your bloodline, but you don't want to get yourself too much associated because of the economy, which plays a very, very funny role in the whole society entirely. Now, the multi-generational aspect is my problem there.
The multi-generational aspect is a kind of tradition, mostly played in Africa and some part of the world, due to their beliefs and religion. Due to their beliefs and religion.
Okay.
So polygamy is accepted. So we have such one. We have such one.
And also we have multiple and two, one, and even non-categorized family. Did you hear that very well? We have multiple or two, one, even not at all. That have a category. They are categorized family.
So what do you think about that?
When I look at this, when I was bending my head, trying to find out multifunctional, multiple home. I think I see something of having a bunch of children.
Okay, it's true. Sometimes 18.
Sometimes from different
football team.
Sometimes from different fathers or different mothers that give birth to them.
Yes.
As a multiple aspect. Sometimes it's just two, some is one, some even you don't even have at all. They're all categorized family, and we should understand that we have really touched all these things so that we will understand that today's world we are living in a different bazaar regarding the issue that has to do with this. Now, only take note of this. Only income, wage,
that is
with earners. Type evaluating adopted formula using the family criteria.
That is number 13.
Yeah, as a strategy and for strengthening desired family pattern through policy making and also now consensus consensus program evaluation. The tax and they also report, we will be looking at the global life cycle, which stage on this very platform. No children, early formations, infants and pre-scholars with certain school age children. We've already touched on this things. This is more like
no children, early marriage,
no things like
infant
that.
and pre-scholar.
Can we even look into the infant
starting school age?
They are children now.
Yeah, they are children now, like that. They are in school.
They put themselves in a family way.
And they put themselves in a family and they have parents who are taking care of them.
Yeah, which is a multiple.
They are taking care of them, taking care of the children.